In this video, we'll demonstrate viewing the contents of a Vitech GENESYS repository using the Syndeia Cameo plugin in the Syndeia 3.6 release. GENESYS is a model-based systems engineering tool incorporating requirements, architecture, analysis, and test. As usual, we will launch the Syndeia plugin from a Cameo SysML model. The first screen shows the projects which I have permission to access. Review the videos in Part 1 Introduction for the general functionality of this plugin, especially Video 1.5 for a discussion of Syndeia projects. When I select a project, I will only be able to see the intermodel relations that are part of that project, and I will need the relation write permission for that project to add new connections. I will select the UAS03 project, which will remain the active Syndeia project until we close the Cameo session. On the Repository Manager tab, we see the GENESYS category heading, which may have one or more repository connections under it already. If we need to add an additional repository, we select the heading, right-click, and choose Add, enter the URL and our account username and password, see your GENESYS admin for those, create a name for the connection, and click OK. If I need to add or update my credentials on an existing repository connection, right-click on it, select Update, enter the username and password, and click Update. If the connection is successful, select it to see the contents of the repository in the right panel, arranged as a tree. At the top is the repository, GENESYS at Intercax in this case. Next level down is Projects, which are containers in the Syndeia data model. There are 2 projects. Below the project level are Components and Requirements. As always, the repository contents have been drawn directly from the GENESYS repository as the tree is expanded. They are not stored permanently by Syndeia. You can right-click an item to refresh its contents, and the return of results is paginated. The cloud icon with Fetch More will appear at the bottom of the lists if there are more elements to return. Click on the plus symbol to fetch more. Relations between GENESYS elements are also visible in the tree. Component sys111 can be expanded to show the built-from relationship to its 5 parts. Similarly, requirement 1.6.1 expands to show its refines relationship to the higher-level requirement 1.6. More information about the GENESYS data model is available in the API overview documentation in the Syndeia web dashboard. Video 30.2 in this series will demonstrate creating and viewing reference connections to GENESYS elements through the Syndeia Cameo plugin.